Hi friends, welcome back. I am Tara T with Old Soul Factory and welcome back to my channel. So I know that it's been a while since I've actually posted anything on my channel. It's probably been about a month really since I have officially posted a video, or you guys have really heard from me, and I don't want you to feel like I disappeared off the face of the earth. So I kind of want to explain myself, tell you what I've been up to, and just fill you in on life a little bit. And I would also like to talk about the crochet retreat that I just got to go on. So first things first, I just want to say everything is fine in my life, I promise. I kind of fell into like a little bit of a slump, like a little creative block. I lost my crojo a little bit, if you could call it that. And so I've just kind of been taking the last couple weeks to research patterns that I thought would give me joy. I've taken some time to now create a pattern that I thought would be really fun, that I specifically have wanted to make for a while now. And then I went on the crochet retreat to try to help get my crojo back, and I feel like it's finally back. So I just wanted to make sure before I started posting anything that I was kind of back in good spirits for you guys, because I want you to be able to come here and enjoy your time here and just get away from the real world a little bit. So I won't get into it too much, but I'm glad I took a little bit of a so-and-so mental health break, as one might say, for the last month, and I feel much better, I promise. And everything's doing really good over here. So I just want to talk crochet and just get into all the beautiful things that I got to make on the crochet retreat. So let's talk about the crochet retreat. This retreat, every single time that I've gone, which I guess this is only the second time that I've gone, well, third time I've gone to a retreat in total, second time that I've been to my mom's specific retreat, but I just feel so much more inspired after I get done with that. Just something about being in a room with other people who enjoy doing the same thing that you're doing really just fills your own cup back up and just warms my heart a little bit. So I've really enjoyed that this week. I met so many new friends. I met a lot of old friends that went to the first retreat that I got to go to with them. So I met a lot of people and had a great time, and I really just got my creative spark back, which is exactly what I needed. So the retreat was hosted like in southern Indiana this year, out in the middle of literally nowhere. There was like a beautiful little horse farm kind of as you drove in. So there was like little horses and a little pony, and the pony was little 6 weeks old because we pulled over and somebody was like taking care of the pony, so we asked whenever we were running around. But the atmosphere was just great. It was off this little lake too, was right next to it, little pond I should say. It's not really a lake, but a little pond was next to the house too, and just surrounded by trees and big windows, and to get some vitamin D was very nice. And it was a cabin, of course. It was very cozy. I will say this is not the best house that we have stayed in, and that's fine, okay, but it did the job, and I still enjoyed myself thoroughly the entire time. And there's always something about being around, which I know I already said this, but something about being around other people who enjoy doing the same things you enjoy doing really just warms my heart. It just gives me a little bit of a spark again. It just makes me feel more creative. It makes me feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be a little bit more, if that makes sense. And it just really helped me, honestly, this last week. I feel like I've kind of been struggling to keep my own crojo going, and I've kind of just been emptying my own cup a little bit, but this felt very fulfilling to get to go and do this and hear everybody else's stories that they've had and what life updates since the last time I'd seen them all, and to meet some new people too and get to know them as well, and just share stories and share meals. It was such a wonderful experience, honestly, and I wouldn't change it for anything. And we also did this retreat a little bit more low-key this year. So this retreat, unlike the last one, we had like a sign-up sheet for meals and stuff that mom had organized, and if you don't know, my mom is Stacy Makes over here on YouTube as well. So just saying, if you want to go watch her video, she has, I'm sure, a bit of a recap herself about the retreat. And the Cozy Buckeye, aka April, helped host this retreat as well. So she's going to have a video going up about it as well, I'm sure, showing off her makes that she also made at this retreat. But they hosted it essentially and organized most of everything, and so they're really, I have so much to be thankful for, but those two are incredible. Literally my mom and what feels like my second mom. So they're just delightful, wonderful people, and they made this perfect spreadsheet, sign-up sheet thing where people could sign up for meals or to bring other things and supplies that we needed for the house. And so instead of just my mom. I'm gonna call her Stacy though, because it's weird to keep saying my mom in case you don't know that she's Stacy. But Stacy had brought all of the paper goods and meals and everything in the past to cook for everybody and feed everybody and entertain everybody and host workshops and all of these things. But this one was much more low-key. She did not do that this time around. We just had a sign-up sheet. Pretty much everybody signed up for some kind of something, like a meal or, like I said, paper goods and those kinds of things. So the responsibility was a little bit more spread out, so it costs a little bit less as well to come because you were also helping supply a meal kind of deal. So it was a perfect experience though, and it was very nice to see other people in the kitchen and helping and just getting to share those moments. And personally, it was very nice to also be able to see Stacy be able to sit down and like enjoy more of herself at this retreat as well, because I know that that's what she would also want to do, and she would also like to be, you know, also a member of the audience, as one might say. So that was also really fun and something different that we kind of did for this retreat as well. I think one part in particular that kind of stands out for the retreat for me was getting to paint safety eyes. I have only done this at the retreats and a time or two at my mom's house, because obviously she paints eyes and stuff. So I've been borrowing her supplies and stuff and making some eyes here and there if I've been over there and she's been working on eyes. But I really got to sit down this weekend and make some eyes myself, and I just want to share some of those eyes with you because they are absolutely gorgeous. Shauna as well, who was there at the crochet retreat, offered up some of her supplies that she had, some really unique little like charms and accessories basically that she puts inside the eyes, which were also really cool. She had colored pupils, glow in the dark eyes, all kinds of really cool stuff. But she doesn't sell her eyes, she did tell me, but she does make them for herself, for her projects and stuff, which is also cool because it just makes like one set of unique eyes for like each plushie too, which is really cool. But I want to show you some of the eyes that I made personally for myself as well really quickly, so we can get into showing those off real quick. So basically, whenever I sat down to make these eyes, Shauna had some really cool, like, I think that they're called like fake sprinkles, like little polymer clay charms, you know, kind of deal. And so she had a whole little package that was like fruit themed, and I have wanted to make like a fruit themed like line of something, whether it's turtles or cows or whatever it is. I just feel like I could be really inspired by fruits because I love fruits. I love fruit inspired animals too. So I was like, this would be super fun if I went ahead and made some eyes and got those ready for whenever I feel like actually sitting down to get to make these. So I went ahead and made like a little fruit collection essentially. So we have kiwis, we have lemons, we have watermelons, strawberries, and limes down here. So they're all pretty much the same, but the reflective flakes and stars on them kind of match the charms itself. Like these are obviously yellow, these are a bit more pink, or red, and these are pink, and then these are more green, and obviously these are more green and iridescent kind of as well. So these are really also pretty with like a opal base behind them, which I really like. I love opal eyes. That's honestly my favorite, are like blue reflective opal-y eyes. Something about them just scratches my brain perfectly. And then, like I said, Shauna had colored pupilled eyes, and I was like, I want to make a set that's orange, like with oranges. And how cute is this? I think I can make the coolest little magical orange creature ever. So I'm saving those for something really awesome in the future. And then while I was sitting there, well, if you know me, you know that I love lemons, I love blue, I love like toil patterns. I just love like, I just call them like porcelain patterns, basically, like fine china patterns, just white and blue. And I don't know how to describe it. I'm sure there's a word for it, but I don't know if I actually know the word for it. But that kind of print, there's also some clips that I'm probably wearing that outfit, honestly, that you've probably seen on other people's channels, but it's my favorite print. Anyways, I love lemons and like that theme and like the Italy theme that everybody got really into over the summer. And so I made some eyes kind of inspired by that. So these have blue butterflies and then lemon slices in them. Obviously I did 30s here, so these are very big. I knew that I would want to put these on something big since it is kind of a big pattern to begin with. So they have yellow little lemons and then blue butterflies, light blue and dark blue butterflies, if you can see those. And then again, just like an opal-y foil base behind it. So these will be really cute on something like light blue with like some lemony ears, I'm kind of feeling like. So I'm very excited to eventually get to crack these open and use them, but for now they will go in my safety eye organizer that you guys have seen multiple times, which honestly I don't even think I've unpacked it yet, so I probably need to get to doing that. But that's something that's kind of exciting that I really enjoyed, and I really did fall in love with this a little bit more this trip. Something about getting to pick out glitters and colors and sparkles and a pattern and have like this idea of inspiration is just so much fun, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. So I'm planning on in the close future getting all the supplies for myself and hopefully expanding my Etsy shop to also include safety eye sets. I have some really cool themes and pattern ideas and stuff in the future that I would love to do. I'm currently in the planning stages of all of this. I would like to have it all planned out, the names, the color schemes, those kinds of things already laid out. I want to pre-make a ton of these. Again, this will not just be one quick and easy like upload someday close in the future. This is going to be a process, and I hope you just bear with me. Now that I know how to do all of this stuff, I'm just very excited to get started and start to make them myself and to expand my business a little bit more to some more crochet supplies for you guys. So hopefully in the future I can show you some of the eyes that I am actually making on my actual plushies, which would be so much fun. It would also be super fun if I like listed the exact eyes that I used that were mine in a pattern too. That way you guys could also even purchase the same eyes if you wanted to as well for your patterns, if you wanted them to be the exact same. I think that would be so cute. And there's lots of times where I see patterns in somebody's see pictures in somebody's pattern, I'm like, oh my gosh, those eyes are so cute, I wish I could get them, and then they don't list where they got them or anything. Honestly, I'm also I also do the same thing, so I just want to start doing that in the future as well in my future patterns. So now I would like to talk about all the little projects that I made to kind of help get my crojo back while I was at the retreat itself. I started with the big project, okay? Whenever I went, I apparently did not pack enough yarn, which I did not think was possible. But I got there, and alas, I fell in love with the pattern, and I didn't have the exact yarn colors that I needed in my stash to create this pattern. So graciously, that's the word I'm looking for, graciously, my mom offered up some of her Elise Veluto yarn, which I've actually not used before. So I was kind of excited to both use this yarn and make this pattern at the same time, and it just so happens she had the perfect colors, and it turned out adorable. Okay, I love this pattern. Anime fans, be ready. You're gonna love this, I promise. I will also pop the patterns up on the screen over here. I do not remember half of the patterns or the people who created these patterns, so I will definitely have to pop them up over here because I will be forgetting. So this is the first one that I made for the week to get my little crojo back. But this is Chopper dressed as Luffy. He's cosplaying Luffy, which is so cute. I will say I did mod a thing or two on this pattern. In particular, one thing I know for sure that I modded is it wanted you to make like a magic ring of like 4, I think is what it was, to make like this little chunk off the antler, and instead I just kind of freehanded like a little chain bobble kind of situation to make it like that instead, so I did not have to connect 2 separate pieces, create another piece, tie it off, all those things, because at that point it was one of the last steps and I had already gotten this far into it, and I was like, I just want to finish it already because it had already taken like literally a full day to get this thing done. So I was very much over it at that point, so I was like, let's just get it over with already. So we have cute little Chopper. I love how he turned out. I'm actually watching One Piece currently, so I'm kind of like, I'm at the gates of justice, the end of Water 7. I think we're pretty much towards the end. They're fighting to get the keys back right now, and I think Luffy is fighting, oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but it's the guy with the pigeon on his shoulder all the time. Lucci. Okay, yes. I knew that. I was like, it was just not coming to mind. I kept thinking of Luffy. I knew it started with L and I knew it was kind of similar, but Okay, so but he's fighting Lucci right now. So anyways, I've been really inspired by that lately, and I just thought this cute little chopper would just sell so well. It's both Chopper and Luffy, One Piece themed little plushie at the same time. It did have quite a few pieces, but I did love this pattern. You made the head, then you made the feet, the arms, and you sewed the body and connected the head, and then you went back and you made his vest, and then you made his ears, his antlers, and the hat. And I still need to tack down the hat or glue it on. I've made a Chopper in the past, and I actually glued the hat onto the Chopper himself. And then I've made a Luffy as well before in the past, you've probably seen, and I just literally put the hat on him and didn't glue it on or tack it on or anything because I wanted it to come off because he had a full head of hair under there. But this is gonna be a jump scare, I'm so sorry. He is completely bald. I attached everything to his hat, and I still have a couple of yarn tails in here if I'm being honest. So I think I definitely need to tack this down because I do not want to have to weave in all of these ends. It's gonna be a pain. I want to make sure that his ears stay in the place where I want them to stay, and his hat does not need to come off because he needs to stay dressed as Luffy at this point. So anyways, very, very cute. I will put the picture up here again of the pattern so you can go check it out, or the shop so you can go check it out as well. They also had other versions of like Chopper cosplaying as his other crewmates, which was super fun too. So you might be seeing more of these in the future because I really enjoyed making it. It was just a lot of steps, I would say, but I really, really did enjoy the Elise Voluto yarn. I was using it for the first time, like I mentioned, and I loved how smooth it was. It was literally like the perfect yarn, which is kind of crazy to say, and it kind of makes me want to get rid of all of my yarn and literally invest in just Elise Voluto and use it for absolutely everything because I loved it so much. And I totally made fun of my mom whenever she did that because she got rid of like all of her Parfait Chunky, all of her Sweet Snuggles, and a good chunk of her Bernat, I would say. Not all of it, but some of her Bernat and other random yarns or whatever to complete her Elise Voluto collection. If you've watched her channel, you already know that. But she had like every single color available, which is why I was like, oh sure, I'll try it in that yarn. And it was literally perfect. I loved it so much. So maybe in the future I need to think about destashing a lot of my yarns and maybe picking up on that. Sorry about that. I got a call and I had to take it. But anyways, I think I was finished talking about Chopper. He's done. He's cute. I left Elise Voluto. So after that, I decided to work on something completely different. So let me get it out. Gotta find it real quick. Now I will say from this trip, I still have 3 whips. I am going to show them, but I still have 3 whips that I need to finish, okay? But I decided that I wanted to work on another fuzzy dragon snuggler, and this one I wanted to be a little bit chunkier, okay? So I decided that I wanted to give him kind of like a shoulder buff. So he's kind of got some shoulders going on to him, but look at these eyes. They are so gorgeous, so beautiful, by the one and only Stacy Makes, okay? And I've made most of the pieces. I have all of the horns ready. I need to make the arms still though, I believe, and the wings, the tail, and the tail fins. Yes, that is everything. I had to think there for a second. I was in a darker corner of the room, and I started this probably mid-afternoon, and I got a few hours in, and then the sun started to set, and the chair that I was sitting in was kind of, it just didn't have a lot of light, and we only had so many lamps in that house, and they were not near the chair that I was in because I was in like a solo recliner in the kind of in the corner of like the circle, and so there just wasn't a lot of light near me. So I was using that black Feels Like Bliss yarn, and I was like, this is a recipe for disaster. So I was like, I'm gonna put it away. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. And I worked on it a little bit more like during the daytime when I wanted a different hook size to kind of play around with, but I had a really fun time with that. I've made several of them before in the past, and that Feels Like Bliss yarn, but I hadn't made a black one yet, and so I was like, this is going to be challenging because it's black and it's fuzzy, but it will be so cute whenever it's done, and it's obviously already looking so good. So I'm very excited about that project. And then after that, April was talking about her patterns and stuff, and graciously donated a pattern to myself, and so I got Ricky the Raccoon, and this is my little raccoon. I did not have a bunch of black or gray with me, so I was like, you know what, screw it. I want to make him in like golden yellow sunshiny colors. I was like, he would be so fun in a bright color. And she had like a pink one and I think a purple one and then a regular one, like some little sample pictures. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do something fun. I want to do something different. So I was like, this is my time to shine. Here we go. So I made him in all yellow, well, minus the little cream on his face, but mostly yellow. This is the mystical yellow color. This is the dappled yellow color, and then obviously the cream on the face part. But he turned out so adorable, and again, he is no sew. This took like no time at all, I feel like, to get this thing done. It was a little challenging just to try to read through the pattern for the first time because I haven't even really done one of April's patterns. I sat down to really do it yet. So this was super fun to do though. And look at these eyes. These were a pair of Oops eyes from the ADHD Hobbyist that I've been holding on for a while, but I was like, just the shimmer and the depth that these give would be so pretty in this pack. You can kind of see there's like a bit of a pink kind of tint to them sometimes too. So these are very, very pretty. I love these eyes so much. They're just very golden-y, and I was like, they fit the theme, and I've been holding on to them long enough, so we needed to use them. So I'm very happy with how my little raccoon came out. After that, I wanted to work on some smaller things. As you know, I've been trying to build up like my little $5 bin, my mini plushie bins, and so I had made a video about how many mini plushies can I make in a week, and I made this pattern in that video. And so this is a little claw machine pattern pack, but it is the turtle out of the pattern pack. So I've made lots of these in that past video. Again, Parfait Chunky with the Parfait Chunky Fruits yarn, obviously, in the middle. And so, I mean, not in the middle, as the shell, I should say. And so I had a really fun time just sitting down and making a few of these really quickly just to break something up. I think I was like, I just finished the raccoon, I think, and then it was like almost lunchtime and I was like, I'm gonna do something else, I think is what the timeline was there. So I was like, I just need something little. Let me just bring some of these out and get these done real quick. I can only do so many of these in a sitting though now because they're really easy and they're really fun to make. It's just something about making a head for a plushie and then having to go back and finish the rest of the plushie is just very unappealing to me a lot of times. And so I'll sit there and I'll make a few heads and I'm like, I might as well go ahead and finish the turtles right now because I know I'll make 15 heads and then only make like 2 turtles. So I made 3 of these little turtles while I was there. And then while I was there, one of my good crochet friends, local crochet friends, Heather with the Freckled Brunette Creations. I almost totally messed that up. But Heather with the Freckled Brunette Creations over on Instagram. I love her so much. She is a pattern testing queen. Okay, so she pattern tested something for Red Milk Crochet and I've pattern tested for her in the past before too. I love her patterns. They're very intricate. If you don't know, they're very magical, kind of mythical, kind of themed, I would say. Most of them are, at least. And so she has some really, really unique patterns out there. They just have a lot of pieces and a lot of sewing usually. So if you don't like that, I definitely would not check it out, but I do not mind for the sewing and stuff. As long as I can get my money out of a plushie, I am so down to make it. So Heather had started to make this. Well, she didn't even start to make it. She had to take some final pictures of it because she finished it right before she came onto the retreat. So I saw it and I was like, this pattern's adorable. Like, I have to make it. Okay, so I went ahead and like literally signed up for Patreon just so I could get this pattern and some of the others while I was in there because I've been waiting for just that last little straw for me to be like, okay, I have to sign up for her Patreon. So I signed up for her Patreon for a little bit and downloaded a bunch of patterns, but this is the pattern that I fell in love with. I will also include a screenshot, hopefully, of Heather's version of this plushie because it's adorable. I love it so much. So I started it. I obviously did not get it finished because I actually ran out of this yarn color, which sucks to suck. Really was kind of sad about that, but oh well. Okay, so I got the head done. It needs to be stuffed and I feel like shaped a little bit more with some stuffing because he looks a little funny right now. Okay, but these eyes are like golden with a black and rainbow kind of iridescent in them. They've kind of reflect green, iridescent. Like, these are just such a beautiful foil color, honestly. So I feel like these are going to match really well. It's called the Druid kitty too, because it has a little cloak and everything. It's like a little magic cat, and I love it so much. So I'm very excited to go back now that I have more of that yarn and finish up this plushie, because I'm very motivated to do so. But like I said, it is a lot of pieces. But I'm looking forward to it, and I just love picking out eyes for big projects like this especially. So this was really fun to start, and I look forward to getting to finish it soon. But while I was in her Patreon little, you know, part of the website and everything, and downloading some patterns, I went ahead and sold this pattern. I had the colors already in my project bag ready to go for this. I was super excited to see this on there, and I was like, I don't know what to make right now. I don't know what to make right now. I was just very indecisive, which I can be a lot of times. So I was like, I'm going to make this little guy, okay? He's also not finished. There's a few things that I got started on, and either this one I ran out of time on, okay? But it's going to be this little mid-spring moth, I think is what it's called. I'll put it up here, but it's gonna have little arms holding a little flower and some cute little pink wings on the back. So I'm very excited about that part. And like I said, I just had the perfect colors out already, and I was like, now I just have to finish it. So I got out my pink and my yellows and was working on it. I'm like, I think I have one wing done, the arms done, so I just need to make the other wing and the flower part, and then I can sew it all together. So it won't take long, I just need to finish it. But I also, again, want to show off these eyes. I hand painted these eyes while I was on the retreat. They are pink on the top and bottoms, but on the outer edge, like the middle outer edge, is yellow, and it was just so perfect. It was too perfect not to use on this project. I mean, look at that. The pinks, the yellows, so beautiful. He's gonna be so stinking cute whenever he gets done, but this is the kind of stuff that I want to start doing for my channel as well. There's just something so satisfying about making something that's so satisfying, okay? So I'm so glad that I got to start working on him. I'm very excited to be finishing him up soon. And then last but not least, I had this project that I started. This was my favorite project that I made on the retreat. The eyes, the body shape, the pattern, the everything. This was the winner for me, okay? It was a general consensus that this one was the cutest thing that I made throughout the week, okay? So let me just show you, and then we'll get to talking about it. But this is the pattern, okay? And this is the plushie. This is the Bernat dabbled yarn in the gray color. As you can tell, I got through everything except for the body in the light gray color, because it's the same kind of yarn that I used on my How to Train a Dragon snuggler, like the really big dragon snuggler, and it just kind of abruptly changes color, which luckily after I got through all of the other pieces and was getting ready to start on the body, I noticed that I only had like another foot left of this light color of gray. So I took it out and just snapped it off and just started with the dark color on the body. Otherwise, I feel like it would have looked like he had a little butthole, and I didn't want that. So I was like, I'm not going to do that to myself, okay? So anyways, I finished this one up, and I almost want to keep it for myself, okay? I never keep things for myself, but this one's like seriously the cutest thing ever. I love the body style. I love how easy it is. I love the arms, the legs, the ears are just the perfect size for its head. I love the little velvety safety nose I got to borrow from mom to use for this project. Not really borrow, but more like steal. And I love the safety eyes that she had painted for me, because these are just so perfect. They're just mostly silvery, like a deep charcoal kind of silver color to me, but they are just like holographic, reflecting, beautiful. They mostly reflect like yellowy pinks, which I think just fit the little mouse theme perfectly. So it's just so eye-catching. Something about this versus just the black safety eyes. Like, imagine he was just like this. Not that that would be like bad or anything, but it just looked a little creepier on some animals, and this would be one of them, okay? So I'm glad that he has some warm and inviting eyes, like he wants to be friends with you, okay? But I'm excited for it. So I am going to be selling this one though at my next market. I'm very excited for this. I also made another one of her patterns like this, but I won't talk about it too much because I'm saving it for another video so far. But I highly recommend these patterns. She has tons of styles, tons of animals, and it's totally worth it, especially because you make literally everything and then you make the body and sew everything into the round, and then you just sew on the head, which is quick, easy, a little connecting piece, nothing terrible. And then I can just sploot like this. This is my favorite way to display these, I feel like. Or you can kind of have it sitting, like they can kind of sit for you, which I think is adorable. Yeah, they're very huggable since they're so flexible and movable. I feel like they're very kid safe and kid cuddly. And it's just so perfect. I love it so, so, so much. I think this is Mitsy the mouse, if I remember right. And I think I got the cat and the dog maybe. So those are cute though. I just love it so much. And okay, enough about that. So along with actually making plushies while we were there, we also did a plushie exchange. And I had given one of the cows that I made in my purple video a little extra something in my bag and had wrapped it all up, and that was my plushie. And Brittany at the crochet retreat got the purple cow, so thank you so much, Brittany. I'm glad you liked him. He's so cute and so soft and so fuzzy. I also included a little bag charm in there, and she ended up giving it to Heather because Heather originally had the cow and then Brittany stole it. So but she was really excited about the bag charms and had been talking about them before I had even like said that I was doing the plushie exchange, that there was one in there. So that was really, really cute to watch too. But during the plushie exchange, I actually won our special guest for the retreat was Katie with the Celestial Homebody. She actually came by the retreat. She wasn't too far from there, and we had invited her to like just come and spend the day over there if she would like. Because she wasn't too far away and we knew that she probably would want to be home with her kiddos. So we just went ahead and invited her, and she popped in for most of the afternoon into the evening, probably about 4 hours almost, I would say, that she was probably there. But she was so sweet and so kind and so genuine. If you guys don't know Katie with the Celestial Homebody, you need to go follow her over here on YouTube and on Instagram. She's so sweet. I just love her so much. But she actually entered the plushie exchange because we had told her about it. And so she entered her little cow, which if you know me, I love cows. Like this was perfect. Like I was so excited about this, especially because it has her signature blush on there. Okay, if you know Katie, you know it has the blushy. Okay, it has the makeup. Okay, she is the celestial cow. Okay, I have several cows in my little personal stuffed animal collection, and I call them all names that are very similar, and they all end in EX. So I have all of my stuffed animals, like my weighted stuffed animals and stuff for my anxiety that I've adopted over the last year, all end in EX. So I have like Rex Senior, Rex Junior, Tex, Lex, and then now we have Selects is what we decided to name this cow. So Selects in honor of the Celestial Homebody. So I just love her so much. She's so cute. These embroidered eyes. This color of pink is like so pretty too. I don't know what color this is, but I always use the pink tan color, but hers is more muted, and I love that it's more like mauve-y almost. It's so cute. And its little headband. Are you kidding me? It's so cute. Anyways, I just love it so much. Thank you so much, Katie, for entering, for stopping by, for chit-chatting with us all. It was such a blast to have you there. I loved meeting you guys, and you just were so sweet. Like I said, I can't say it enough, but thank you for stopping by. If you ever need anything, I'm your girl, okay? Just saying. If you ever, need a pattern tester, hit me up. So total, I really do think that I only finished about 6 full items, but I have several whips in my bag to deal with now, which usually, if you know me, I don't have whips, so it's kind of a new thing, kind of exciting though. With this in mind, it kind of just gives me some place to start and maybe not have to make a decision next time I sit down and want to crochet, which will also be very nice too. So overall, this crochet retreat really just helped me reset, get my crojo back, talk with some fellow crocheters and friends and get out of my own head for a little while, and it is literally exactly what I needed. God was literally like, you need to go on this retreat, you need to be there, and he made it happen, and I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so grateful for the experience and the friends and the memories that I have from these retreats, especially with my mom and my friends. So I really did have such a great time, and I just thank you guys for being patient with me while I kind of took a step back from things for a little month, you know, and just reset my mental a little bit and got my crojo back so I could share more videos with you guys, because I don't want to be forcing myself to make content either, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun. This is my safe space, so I don't ever want to come into this room and feel like I'm being forced to do anything that I don't want to do, okay? Don't put me in a box. I don't like being in a box. If you need to know anything more about these patterns, these designs, or anything that I talked about during this video, please let me know. I would love to talk to you guys down in the comments. If you watched all the way until the end, please leave a little moon emoji in honor of the celestial homebody making a little appearance in this video as well. And if you need anything, you guys know where to find me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!